Hey, how you doing, everybody in Facebook world? Just want to give a little post update here of our 320. So first, both clear on here. So at the beginning of this match, USPSA Low Cap Nationals, Production Nationals, down here in Polk County, Florida. I had a goal. I wanted to come down here, run these guns, not take anything apart, not clean anything during the match, just run them at the end of the day, throw them in the range bags. Next day, start up again, take them out, put them in the holster, and run them. Same goes with mags. Not take these mags apart at all, just run them. Now down here right now, you got mid-high 80s, high humidity, very bright sun, again high humidity, random rainstorms. Only came through the first day a little bit on the second day as well, but not too bad. Some dust and dirt, but especially in the morning you have a lot of moisture in the ground when you're dropping mags. But again, my goal was to bring them down here already cleaned up, oiled, greased, ready to go, and not touch them. See how they would do with this, getting high temperatures in a stressful environment, dirty mags, etc., and going through on it. So before coming down, I went through, cleaned them, oiled, greased them both, and didn't clean the mags. I can't tell you last time I went through actual mags, cleaning and taking them apart and cleaning them. I clean them, but I'll go over that in a little bit. But then we shot a match, roughly 200 rounds. At that match, came to nationals, 21, 22 stages, somewhere in there. Very high round count between the 3 days match. And they performed perfect. Again, I took the mags, I didn't clean them, so we're dropping them on each stage. Now, both these guns use the same mag, so a mag on a stage has potential to be used twice. So, that's a lot of banging down and changing out. It could be dropped if it's in the morning time, a lot of moisture, wet grass, dirt, sand, mud. It just depends. So what I do on the mags is every once in a while, it's a little unconventional, but I just spray a little bit of this on the outside and wipe it down and call it good. I don't do anything else. These mags, they just run. The Made in USA ones, let's see if I have Made in Italy one here too. Made in Italy. And some of these are real old. They still are stamped with 250. These are SIG P250 mags. Some of them. This one's not marked with 320 at all, but yeah, this one's marked P250. So that's just an idea of how old these are. The Italy or the Met Guard, these Made in USA, checkmate. I know a lot of conversation on which one's better. They're both outstanding. I couldn't tell you a difference. We just grab and go. There's not one I prefer over the other on markings on that. They both run outstanding. We've had the same ones we've been running hard for the past 3+ years. All the same springs. God knows how many thousands and tens of thousands of rounds we're going through them. These Springer base pads just hold up to a severe beating and nonstop, and they've been excellent. But again, we just spray it with a little bit of mist. Now, at the match, after a stage is done, we take the mag, pick the mag up, I bang it off, I empty the rounds out, and then we load it back up and go. No issues. Now, more importantly, the guns. So again, showed clear on them. I believe I grease these heavily. These are the match guns, so I do grease them heavily. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to re-grease them or anything. So these got probably about 1,200 rounds between the last cleaning, between the single match, nationals, and practice and in between. They have about 1,200 rounds in them since they've been last greased and oiled. I know everyone has preferences on grease, and it's a giant debate, but nowadays with good technology, we use Lucas gun grease. I've had amazing luck with it. There's plenty of other good brands out there as well, so it's not a debate in grease. As long as you're greasing and using a quality grease, that's really, at the end of the day, what matters. Make sure it holds up to your temperature of your surrounding and the temp of the guns. But let me take this out now. So here's a slide. Overall, I mean, it's dirty, but I'm gonna go another 1,000 rounds before re-cleaning it. I'll just re-throw some more grease on here, and that's it. You keep it good. Barrel looks fine. So points I grease. And again, this is only for match gun. This isn't for my carry gun. My carry gun I do completely different. That's another mindset people got to do, is how they grease and oil their carry gun and how they grease and oil their competition gun. Two separate ones. And everybody has their way of doing it. I have what works for us. You may have a way that works for you that's best. Hey, whatever's way that works, that your gun's not jamming up on you and you don't have to worry about it jamming up on you, you're good to go. So this is just what works for us. But I oil the barrel, top and bottom. This barrel's got, like I said, tens of thousands of rounds through it. No issues. But I oil it up. I throw a little oil right here. I do not oil this. I throw a little oil here, here, and here. What I do is I throw oil right here and down. You can see where the Cerakote is worn off. You see where the barrel rides. So I throw a thin layer of oil right, grease right here. Same thing, grease on the barrel, not oil. Grease back and forth. All this is all grease. Grease, very thin down the rails. You don't need a crazy amount. You know, put a good, cover it, but you don't need craziness on there. If you ever start noticing extractor issues on there, take your extractor out. Take a razor knife. I've made a video on that on the YouTube channel, Green Team Customs on the YouTube channel, on how to clean this. Take it out, take a razor knife, clean that out. Every 2,000 to 2,500 rounds, I'll take the whole slide apart, clean in there, take the striker out, take this out, take the striker apart, spray contact, clean it in through the channel, make sure it's nice and dry, then some compressed air through it, make sure the channel is nice and dry. Rub this down with CLP, and then grease all this stuff. Do not grease this. Do not grease that at all. It gets grease on there. It'll get grease on there from the gun. Don't grease any of this on there. Right. The rails, right here, again, for competition. So, and then, but yeah, no issues. Now the FCU. She's still good. Really don't need to re-grease this. That Lucas, I know everyone has their favorite. The Lucas just holds up. Again, it's about around 1,000, 1,200 rounds through it. The Lucas just stays there. So every 2,000 rounds, 2,500 rounds, again, I'll take it all apart. Take this, strip this down. I don't strip all this down except until I get like around 10,000 around, so every 5 times I'll take it. So normally it's just taking the trigger bar, spraying slide stop off, spraying the whole thing with contact cleaner. I grease behind here, grease tiny bit on the rails. You don't need it because you're gonna have it on the slide. I put a little grease back here where this touches down here. The only place you need oil anywhere here is I put, and again, this works for us. I put a little dab of oil right in there because you got the pins in there. Told by old machinist, if it slides, grease it. If it pivots, oil it. So that's the only place this gets oil. Nowhere else on this gun gets any oil. Grease, 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 dab of oil. And I mean a dab of oil. That's it. But besides that, 1,200 rounds total. We're gonna go back home. We're actually gonna shoot another match. And it'll be another 1,000 rounds before I clean it again. And it just holds up and it just keeps going. That's what's great about these 320s, is how simple they are and how they just keep going. Another great thing too is, I mean, in the parts, another good thing is having great parts. Graygun stuff inside, it's simply the best. It's that simple. They make the best, they use the best parts, they use the best metals. They are the best. That's why even SIG goes to them to put them and stuff. When the Legion first came out, they needed a high-end trigger. It's Grayguns, and that's why. It's no questions on it. on that part. And then accessories, Springer's been amazing. Base pads, God, these are forever old. Hold up to I can't even think of how many drops these have gone through, not just matches, but dry fire and everything else. Mag release, I mean, this one's the aluminum one, 2+ years, mag release. This one's stainless steel, right there about the same. There's no really on the difference out of them. This one we got when the weight limit, we only had 2 ounces to play with, so we could only do so much with base pads and everything, so we had the aluminum. So that's, when I got, for this one, I got stainless steel because it went up to 4 ounces. But Springer's accessories just hold up because it's quality stuff, all made in the USA. But just wanted to give a quick little video of what's going on, what we do, and how everything just simply works and runs with these guns. You keep simple maintenance on them. You don't screw with them except adding maybe the Graygun stuff, who's been highly engineered and highly tested, or the Springer stuff, same thing, highly engineered and highly tested, and it just runs, and it's that simple. And like I said, we use the Lucas stuff, great stuff. Any high-end grease will do. Just use a high-quality grease. Use your preference. There are plenty of them out there. The argument to say what's better than the other is an argument that could last forever. Just use a quality grease. And again, the only spot you need oil is here. And again, this is just for match guns. How I do our carry guns, completely separate. It's just for match guns. Anybody got any questions on anything? Feel free to put it in the message in the bottom. But thank you. Everyone have a great night. Hopefully see you soon at a match or at a range.